Welcome back to Doc's Hot Shop and Forge. So, as you'll notice, different anvil. This is a 449.2, so 450 pound round figures, French pig style anvil, vintage 1883 from the Clodon works. It's been a 6-month ordeal to get this one over here, so I'm quite keen to give it a try. And to do that, we are going to make the fixing hardware to strap this girl down to the stump. Now, we're going to use the style of strap tie downs that I've used on my other anvils, so I won't go into too much detail on that at this point. But what we're going to do that's different is the strap that goes around the anvil block is recessed into the stump itself. As you can see, the recess in this photo. And so we need to make the strap able to open and close to fit into that recess. So what we're going to do is, at one end of the strap, so at this end of the anvil, there will be a hinge in the strap, and at this end there will be a staple and wedge, which tightens things up. And then along the long sides there'll be a series of bolts going into the timber. So today's project is to make that strap. Now we're going to start off with a quick look at that design. So here are some drawings that I did up, and we need two pieces of 50mm by 6 strapping, 720mm long, which will form, and that should give us sufficient to make the hinge and the latch portion at the other end, with a comfortable little bit of extra. At least I hope so. The hinge pin will be some 12mm round, so we'll need to cut that, and the wedge and staple will be made out of some 10mm by 25mm flat stock. So let's go cut some materials and get started. So here we have all the bits that we need: the straps, wedge, staple, hinge pin, drift for the hinge. The first thing we're going to make is the drift. So let's get the forge hot and start drawing that out. Here that I'd like, but I think with some strapping down we might just get rid of that. But it's a lot quieter than I thought it was going to be. The whole point with a drift like this is a long taper, and remembering the struck end is actually going to get through what you're drifting. So now that the struck end is nicely done, we can work on that long taper. Pretty good. Right, that's ready. So it's 1/2 inch up here, something substantially less down that end, and this end is also substantially less, so it'll drive all the way through. That can be left to cool off. Actually, we might just quench that to get as much as we can out of the steel. Let's start on the wedge. That anvil is a brilliant thing. lot louder than I thought it would be. Draw that out a little bit, pretty it up. Alright, so that's that bit done. We've now got to drive that back in on itself, so we straighten that bit out. Over. Is to keep the axis as square as you can. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit wonky at this point. Remembering that when you drive the drift in the second time, you drive it in from the other side so that you can take any warp that you've introduced out. There we go. The first half of the hinge is done. And it looks pretty square on too. Now there is a sort of trick to doing hinges. And I say sort of because I don't know if it really makes it simpler, but it allows you to line up your cuts really well. And that is, once you've got the first half cut, put them back to back. welcome in the vise, and then you use the kerfs from your first lot to guide your second lot. Now, thing is, you then have to flip that over so it actually allows you a little bit of extra wiggle room just in case. And I think that's where the trick comes into it. Doesn't matter which one you pick, but one of them you've got to remove the outer ears, and the other you have to somehow dig out that middle one. The outer ones are easy. So that's the inner half of the hinge. Now we got to get rid of this bit, the tricky bit. What we do is we chisel to create a stress area, and we just break it out. Alright, so we've got to chisel out this section, and to keep that from bouncing I've just clamped it down. You want to work it cold so you create a decent amount of stress in the metal so you can break it. 3 or so blows later, got that sucker out of there. Now, good alignment. So that's what we're after. That 1 saw breadth between of play total. So that's all we need. Really, we just need it to bend this way, because that's how we're going to clamshell it onto the stump. Once it's on the stump, it just has to be parallel, or flat in this case. So, I'm quite happy with how that's come together. Give these a little bit of a dot so we can find these. So we're just going to mark up the next one. Now this one is slightly twisted, so we're going to have to work on that before we get too much further in. So this mark here is the inside of the bend for the key and the wedge. So we need to mark that, do that bend, and it has to go this way. So let's lay that out, and then we'll lay out the other one as well. Okay, now we've got to tidy up that. Oh no, did I break it? Why did I do that? I did break it. Wow. That's gone. Good. Well, I've not had that happen with mild steel bar stuff before, but apparently it does. So anyway, this is going to screw things over a little bit when I forge this out. We're doing the trough fit up. happy to say the hinge lines up. Guess what? So does the other end. You need to point up that pin a little bit. Okay. I'll have to tidy that up a little bit, I guess. How can I do this better? Now it is all the way through. Just wish I had more room in which to hammer. Well, that wedge is not going any further. And, to be fair, I don't think it actually needs to. That band is bloody tight. Fits perfectly. So, short of the fact that this one broke somehow, right here, clean across, this job is done. Well, that takes us to the end of a very busy day. I don't know if I will actually tie the anvil down to the stand other than with the silicone that's under the feet. Simply because the ring is not offensive to my ears at the moment. You guys will have to let me know if you're finding it annoying, and I will see what I can do. The problem with this style of anvil is that it's got the hollow underneath the main body and two horns. So there's a lot of resonating area that's not over the stump, that won't be tied into the stump directly. So it will always ring a little bit. So it's just a matter of whether we can kill it a little more or if we even need to. So, I hope you've enjoyed the video. It's been a blast using this anvil. The rebound is astounding. I need some bigger hammers because, quite frankly, the smaller ones that I've got fly up and it's difficult to control them. So, the next few videos may encompass some hammer making. I hope you've actually enjoyed this one. If you have, hit the thumbs up. Feel free to share on social media, and if you haven't already subscribed, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button. When you do, don't forget, ring the notification bell so you know when I upload. So get out to your shop, have some fun, push your envelopes a little bit, but do stay safe, and I'll catch you for the next one.